Bienvenidos, ya estamos de regreso con mi súper invitada Tracye Polson, la doctora Tracye Polson, la candidata demócrata al City Council. Okay, I'm feeling better now. All right, I have a lot of questions. We were talking during the commercial about I'm a business owner, you're a business owner, we're both women. We both have a lot of, needs and a lot of issues, especially now with the COVID thing and, like people are not able to find job. Do they really want to work? It's a whole thing. But as a businesswoman and as a mom of 5, I have 5 too, I wonder if you have any idea or any plans of how to get people working again, because it's important. We can afford to live out of the government forever.
Right.
And a small business like myself are in very much need. We need the help. Like me personally, I've been tired of putting ads and I got no response, or I got people asking me for crazy amount of money because otherwise they don't have the need to work because they get help. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I know the unemployment level here in Jacksonville is low. I mean, it's 3.5%. And so there is a lack of enough people for the jobs that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that has to do with, like what you said, COVID, and where the opportunities are, what has happened in terms of some businesses going under. I think part of what could be very helpful is to connect different communities, and I'm thinking about Spanish-speaking communities, with the resources that are at the city, so that people know where to go, both for jobs, but also employers who are looking to hire.
Ella dice que el desempleo en la ciudad de Jacksonville está bastante bajo, lo que significa que hay escasez de trabajadores y que lo que hay que hacer es lograr conectar al trabajador con el empresario. De esa manera el empresario sabe dónde buscar el empleado y el empleado sabe dónde buscar el trabajo que está necesitando.
But Gina, I also think that it's about having elected officials who, even after they're elected, will come to your community, will have conversations. So we did a town hall this past weekend with some minority-owned, mostly women,
Mm-hmm.
businesses, and it was a very sort of nice conversation about the barriers that they face. So part of it, I think, is really engaging the Latino, Hispanic community and asking, like bringing together folks and saying, what are the things that what are the resources that you're needing for your community?
Yeah. Ella dice que lo importante es que, bueno, primero dijo que el fin de semana pasado ella tuvo un town hall donde básicamente eran mujeres y la charla fue bastante amena, donde pudieron conversar de las necesidades que estaban ocupando en ese momento. So que ella lo que piensa es tratar de acercar a la comunidad hispana para que ellos mismos puedan decir, nosotros mismos podamos decir qué es lo que estamos necesitando. I can tell you I am one of the few women that work on the construction field, and it's hard as a woman for men to understand that we can do it, mm-hmm. and for men to understand that we do have the resources, and for men to understand that we are actually equal. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes my business, fortunately, is doing good. I'm one of the blessed ones that we keep working during the entire pandemic. We didn't stop. I keep everyone working every single day because I understood that they needed the money, mm-hmm. even though we weren't making enough money to have them work, but I kept them working and they didn't miss not one paycheck. Mm-hmm. And but then sometimes, you go to meetings and they resolve everything between men, and we the women get whatever is left on the list. So maybe we could talk about that, like try to have equal opportunities for business women. So like I understand construction used to be a man's work, but it's no longer like that.
Well, what I would say is by electing a woman to the at-large 3 city council seat, you'll have an advocate. So you'll have a woman, but who's also a business owner, and I will be your voice. And like I said before, and look forward to coming back and having these conversations, getting you together with a bunch of other, business owners, and we can talk more about the needs of this community.
Yeah. Ella dice que bueno, ella como mujer y como mujer de negocios, pues básicamente es la mejor candidata que nosotros tenemos para escuchar nuestra voz y para dejarle saber a los demás qué es lo que nosotras como mujeres y como mujeres en la comunidad latina estamos necesitando. Believe it or not, there is a lot of businesswomen in the Spanish community. A lot of them are restaurant owners, and a lot of them have a construction business, like painting, carpentering, and stuff like that. We're everywhere. All right, my next question is, as a mother, I worry, and I'm sure you do too, about what kind of environment we will pass on to our children, and what will be the plan to make Jacksonville more eco-friendly for the future. Because, and I was thinking about that, I was studying your background and all the work that you do and all your great ideas, and you have a plus because you're a woman, you have a plus because you have 5 kids, you have plus because you have 2 dogs. So, I mean, it's, I feel I could actually put myself in your shoes. So, that to me was like, yes, I want to meet her. But I worry about, Jacksonville is growing. I moved to Jacksonville 20 years ago. When I moved here, it was a lot of trees, a lot of woods. It was houses here and there, business here and there. But now you see constructions everywhere. We are building everywhere. We're turning all the woods and forests apart, and so that's great because the city is growing. We have a lot of business coming in, a lot of new folks coming in, but we have more pollution. Yes. We have more people on the rivers. We have, more, the problem with the recycling is bad, so it's gonna get worse. So what's your plan to make Jacksonville more eco-friendly for our children?
So, one of the endorsements that I have is the Sierra Club endorsement. So It's an environmental group, and I think part of it is educating people in the community about how to take care of our environment. We're also a Navy town, and the Naval Station Mayport has asked for 12 feet of mitigation for sea level rise.
Okay.
You mentioned recycling. I think it's also about promoting electric vehicles and doing small things that we can, planting more trees. When we have development, making sure that there's sidewalks and proper drainage. And again, going back to the tree canopy, that we're really mindful of how much asphalt we're creating, right? Because that traps heat. So I think there are small things that we can do and big things that we can do.
Okay. Ella dice que lo que ella espera poder hacer es que podamos plantar más árboles, que podamos construir más senderas peatonales, que se pueda promover más la venta de los carros eléctricos. También esta es una ciudad, obviamente, donde hay mucha base del ejército, y se pidió para que se levantaran los niveles de la tierra para poder evitar un poco la erosión, y también tratar de controlar la cantidad de cemento que se está poniendo, porque el cemento atrae, especialmente en la Florida, con las temperaturas que tenemos, el calor durante la mayoría del año. Y también ella habla sobre what is the name of the Sierra?
Sierra Club.
Sierra Club. Sierra Club es un centro donde van a comenzar a hacer cosas que tienen que ver con el ecosistema y con tratar de mantener a Jacksonville más limpio.
The other thing I would add is that this goes back to replacing the failing septic tanks, because those septic tanks pollute the St. Johns River as well as the tributaries around it.
Yeah, I actually have a question because I have a couple of voters that actually found out that I was going to be here with you today, and they have a couple of questions about that. Okay, so, and then talking about sidewalks, again, it's not in every neighborhood. Unfortunately, it's a more the areas where, you know, more economically problems have. Let's say north side, let's say close to downtown, or west side, Arlington. There is some areas in the city where people cannot even walk. Like, we are trying to reinforce the kids to get out of the video games, out of the computer, go outside and play, but they don't even have a sidewalk, and it's dangerous. Like, you know, we want the kids to exercise, but maybe sometimes we can't afford to send the kids to do after school activities or, I don't know, extra. I know. In your plans, do you think that sidewalks and places that can be more secure for the families and the kids to get outside, to play outside, to go for family walks, to take the dog out, and to do things like it used to be, yes, without being worried that they're going to get hit by a car or, you know?
Yes, and I think this goes back to what I said earlier about the federal dollars that are already slated to create, you know, build those sidewalks, street lights, pedestrian walkways. So the money is there, it's just making sure that it's used for those purposes.
Ella dice que sí está planeado todo eso, que el dinero está, solo que hay que aprender a derivarlo en los propósitos que sí se tienen que hacer, y que obviamente crear estas bicisendas y veredas, decimos en mi país, pero las sendas peatonales se puedan hacer para que las familias puedan salir afuera y estar seguras. Okay, so I have the septic system from the one of your voters. She says, if we're going to get off the old septic system, and why it's taking so long?
So this goes back to some of the failed promises of consolidation. And again, there are septic tanks that are failing, that are already targeted on the north side and on the west side, and then I think even some in some other areas of the city. So that is being planned.
Okay. Ella dice con respecto a la pregunta de los pozos sépticos, en la mayoría de la ciudad de Jacksonville todavía hay casas que tienen pozo séptico, y entonces yo le estaba preguntando porque uno de los votantes quería saber si se iban a remover esos pozos de la ciudad, y ella dijo que sí, que ya están los planes y que se va a trabajar en eso. Okay, so those are my questions. I'm super excited. I'm super happy to meet you.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you for coming over. Thank you for the patience.
My pleasure.
We got it done. And I hope to see you soon. And you guys need to get out and vote. Elections is on February 22nd.
22nd, and early voting is the 12th through the 20th.
Okay, so ya saben lo que tienen que hacer, salgan a votar, a votar, a votar, porque la única manera de que nos escuchen y de que hagamos valer nuestros derechos es a través del voto. Así que voten. Esto fue todo por ahora. Muchas gracias por haber estado conmigo. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Nos vemos la próxima vez.